Yes, Bricky fans, welcome back to the pod. I've actually got Jacob back on this week, and we have four members on. This week's game is about Hassocks Away. And I have to say, first of all, Hassocks, what a nice place. Obviously, going there in a winter might be a different situation, but it was a really good club. When you got there, you got a nice feel of being welcomed, no bad issues. Being there, especially from a media point of view, the owner was like, you can go in the gantry. I think I've met him 3 times now. He's a very complimentary man. He's all over their social media. And, they tried their best to welcome us. And they had the ice cream van. They had the pitch set up for the kids on the left. The bar seemed open and well stocked. And they had the burger van outside. And it was just a nice, quaint ground. The stand underneath looked busy. And it was really nice, I have to say that. And the day just felt good, nice sunny day, a bit of wind going around. And I believe it is their biggest crowd to date. So thank you to the Brickies fans who made all of that effort to get the coach, travel down. I know the boys stayed after. There were some sing-songs. And those are the type of things and those type of memories that will really, really live long in the memories of obviously the fans, but also the players. They'll remember days like that when they were at Hassocks. They won away and it was staying behind after, and it's almost there. It's almost clinched the playoffs, but not quite yet. It has to be this weekend when we take on VCD, who are playing their final ever game. Let's get back to that game at Hassocks first before we even talk about this weekend coming up. And it was pretty much a game where they had to win it to get out of the relegation, and we had to win to really cement ourselves in early doors. I know Faversham went up quite early with a penalty against Sevenoaks. I know Margate went up early, and it looked like Hassocks was sort of weathering a storm, but we were really on it. I know the manager made some really ballsy decisions and took off Henry Senai and went with a 4 up front. And Richie Howell coming off as well, and also put in Gav back in. And I think for that game, it definitely showed that we wanted to be more attacking, more full frontal. And the goal came from Luke Woodward going hard in the midfield. I thought he was man of the match, and he was winning most of his tackles, most of his aerial battles, being hard in the tackle, and it come from him just winning the ball in the air, knocking it through. Derek and May are there. May goes through, takes a touch, beats the keeper. What May's really good at is, if he gets that shot on goal, he can get himself into a good position. He's going to probably beat the keeper, and he definitely works hard. And having Derek around him as well to pick up those balls, and it's not just May battling up there, which looked really good from a Bricky standpoint. And then, what else can you really say about Derek Asamoah? One more goal, and he says he'll play on for one more year, but definitely, a player that, runs in the channels, he battles well, good first touch, keeps the ball when he needs to, and his finish was superb. It ricocheted off a few players. He knew to just keep it low. And I think after that, it was just a game of just us. We came forward, didn't really get to finish them off properly, but we had some good chances. They had to come out in the second half, and I think the highlights showed that a little bit. How they came at us really looking for something to sort of bring them to life, and then as the game fleeted out, they had a man sent off, which didn't really need to put in the highlights. I think it was just a really quick red card for 2 silly fouls, nothing malice, and it really cemented what was a really good day. We do wish Hassocks all the best, because I think the gaffer says it in his interview. He feels like they're in a false position. I'd probably say that as well. They really do battle. They have these big tall lumps at the back, and they do want to play football at times. They want to get it down, try and play through, and sometimes they lack that cutting edge. Rex Porter as well with a great save in the second half to keep the clean sheet. And we move on to the last game of the season at home. VCD, who have just announced that they're gonna they're gonna disband, which is really sad. I remember going to their playoff final last year, and I posted the photo on their comments. It's just been a packed ground. VCD have always been a club that I know. Where I ref, that's where we hold all our Sunday league finals, and it's always been a good ground. I used to know the old groundsman, and just in general, it's sad because again, they're just a well known name. I think when I first came into non-league, they were one of Cray Valley's like rivals, and I remember the games being so feisty. And such good games in the Ishman South East, and it's a shame that they're going. But hopefully, if you're listening to this pod and you haven't got a ticket yet, get yourselves down there. Bid a farewell to VCD, and we have to on the last day. It's a point we need. I know last week they played the kids, and I think if they show up with that, then they'll seal their fate. But it's sad. But let's get the ground packed. Let's make sure that on Saturday, all of you are there celebrating what will be the last home game of the 25-26 season. And what a ride it's been. I haven't been with the club all season. I came in November/December, and I've got some really good memories with the club, and I really have enjoyed coming in and being part of the Brickies. And taking this to another level for you guys and helping everyone. Yes, I know I make spelling mistakes, and I know on Saturday I put the wrong badge up. So rushed. I think the gentleman who is in the gantry says I do about 6 people's jobs. So just bear with me. Sometimes I need to iron out those kinks, and I take full blame on that. But other than that, it's been good. We now need to look towards the playoffs, and the playoffs is a mad picture because we could play any one of 3 teams. So Tuesday night we could be going to Jersey, or we could be going to Croydon, or we could be going to Whiteleaf, which is effectively Croydon anyway. And those are massive, massive games. And if you get to the final again, still one of 3 places, all up for grabs. I think Jersey are the most informed team actually going into the playoffs, with Whiteleaf and Croydon sort of wobbling a little bit. And these are the time of the year where form is everything when you go into it, and we've got to look forward to making all those things, work in our favour. Being the underdog, being the team that just got in there, should we get there, and it's imperative that we do. And it's imperative Saturday that everyone comes, we take that back and we get it on board. And also on Saturday, just a reminder that they will be giving out the forms for the player of the season. I know lots of you have gone online already and booked your tickets that are free for the presentation on the evening. I think we've got a fair, nearer to 100 people already attending. Try and come if you can. I know it's in a couple of weeks after the season's finished, but we'd love to see you there. Other than that, it's been fantastic season. All of our youth teams are doing well. I get the reports through, and I can't always give the love to everybody, but I'm looking forward to seeing what comes of it next year. There's the Born to Win tournament. There's the golf day coming up, so it isn't like we're stopping. I know that new season means new kit as well, and there's some other things going on in the background. So hopefully we can get that done for you and push the club shop a little bit more next year. And there are so many things going on behind the scenes that, as a fan of Sittingbourne, I would be excited about if I knew what they were. Well, I do get an insight, but it's just nice to see that there's really good engagement. The players love the pod. You guys seem to be enjoying it as well. I don't really think there's much more I can say on this pod other than, congratulations to the club on the whole. Shout out to the groundsman, our young groundsman, who's really putting in a really good bit of effort. There's a camp coming up in May as well, May half term, and we're just looking forward to doing more successful things with you guys. I think you've had enough of me. If there's any questions in any of the gentlemen that have given their voices to the pod this week, I'll definitely answer it back. I don't listen to them until we get the pod out, so that I get a fresh content and something to go through. I've been Michael Brownie. Thank you. And up the brickies.
So, Hassocks 0, Sittingbourne 2. What can we say about that performance? Well, in contrast to the game away at Ashford United, I mean, I think it's chalk and cheese. Everything we got wrong at Ashford, we got right on Saturday against Hassocks. Um, Literally from the first whistle, I think you could see an intent in the way we were playing and the sort of veracity of it and the pace. The boys were intent on getting the 3 points on Saturday, and I don't think they would have left with anything less. First half, I thought we were outstanding. That's probably the best we've played for quite a while. I mean, I think we've played as good a football in spells in the first half last week at Ashford, and the same when we played Merstham in the first sort of 25 minutes or so. But what was different on Saturday was we actually turned that sort of seniority in the game into a goal, which we failed to do in the other two matches. So, yeah, Mitch, what a lovely goal. Brilliant, brilliant work from Luke Woodward. Luke was outstanding on Saturday. His sort of work rate and energy that he sort of puts in, and his tenacity to win that ball back, and create the chance for Mitch was fabulous. So 1-0, great. And then, we just sort of kept going. Deservedly got the second goal through Derek Asamoah, which, as far as I'm led to believe now, that's 20 goals for him for the season overall, between us and the club that he was at previous to joining us, which means he's going to play for another year. Whether that's for us or someone else is yet to be known. But yeah, he's going to carry on by all accounts. Second half, I wouldn't say we dropped off. I think it was a case of, we were sensible in the way that we played. That they inevitably are gonna go for it a little bit more. They've got to. They're in a relegation battle. So they pushed on. I thought we were, I wouldn't say fortunate to keep a clean sheet because the boys defended superbly. And Rex, what a save. Absolutely outstanding save for him second half to keep his clean sheet. We fully deserved the 3 points, I thought, on the day. Hassocks were honest. They were, they got a lot of endeavour in their side. Really liked their sort of setup at their club. First time I visited there. Nice ground at this level. Lovely, friendly people. Haven't really got anything bad to say about them, to be honest with you. I do really, really hope they stay up. Only cheekily because that'll mean that Sheffield United get relegated, which is mildly amusing. But yeah, no, really liked Hassocks. They've got a very, very tough gig next week to go to Ashford and get a win. But they beat Croydon, the week before playing us. So anything's possible, I suppose. For us now, I think, barring a very, very, unusual turn of events this coming weekend, I think we're pretty much guaranteed there. We're 3 points ahead of Faversham. We've got the, marginally better goal difference. It's a long sort of stretch, not impossible, but it's a long stretch to think that we're going to lose to VCD and Ashford are going to improve their goal difference significantly enough, particularly considering that they're playing Three Bridges. I mean, it is the last day of the season. So, a Three Bridges already on the beach. Who knows? But I can't see it. But I mean, I'm confident that if we come out and we play, anywhere near what we did on Saturday, then we'll beat VCD and it all will be immaterial anyway. So yeah, very, very good. We went down there. There was a lot of pressure on that game, particularly after the performance the week before. Our performance and obviously Hassocks' performance, but you can only worry about yourself. I thought Reece got it spot on with the team selection. Unfortunate for the lads that dropped out because I don't think they're, in any way to blame for, how the results have gone recently. But I thought the lads that came in were absolutely phenomenal. Big shout out, really. I thought Luke was superb. I thought Harvey Smith was superb out on that left side as well. He gave us a real sort of directness and an aggression in our attacking play from that left-hand side. I thought it was a right decision to sort of bring him off. He looked a little bit cheesed off when he got subbed, but I thought the legs were starting to tire. That's not a surprise given the fact that he's not played loads and loads of football recently. But yeah, I mean, everyone, I think that, it was just a top performance. So it was a very, very happy drive back up the A23 from Hassocks on Saturday. And yeah, just really looking forward to Saturday now. Hopefully we can sort of get it over the line and there's no big surprises. But yeah, it looks like we're in the playoffs again for the third year running, which is, I think, a phenomenal achievement for everybody at the club, especially considering where we were earlier in the season. When Reece took over, if you'd have told me that we'd end up in the playoffs, I think I probably would have bitten your arm off, to be honest with you. Great to see Joe Bochy back. I hope that he's all right after his performance on Saturday. I think that, if we can even get a sort of 75% version of Joe Bochy back for the playoffs, I think that's a massive, massive boost for us. Yeah, all good, all good. Just got another note for you, Brownie. Hassocks programme Saturday, I thought it was superb. Really, really good. There was some sort of stuff in there that I haven't seen in other programmes this year. I particularly liked their alternative awards for the season, and there were stories in there about their coach getting stuck in the mud at Herne Bay and the most drunk player, which no surprise was when they played Jersey away. Yeah, it was really, really good. So it got me thinking of what ours would be for this year, and I've got a bit of a strange one for you. The oddest moment of the season, I think, for me was probably going on the guided Richie Hamill tour of closed pubs and bars of Jersey on a Tuesday night. Following Richie Hamill around like he was some sort of Pied Piper, with his phone held in the air, taking us to an open club or bar, and every single one of them was shut. So yeah, that's my one. That was quite amusing. But I wonder if any other people have got any other funny stories or unusual things that have happened this season that we don't all get to hear about.
Funny stories from this season. I can only think of one, and this player will remain nameless. There was an early kickoff, so like when we had the lighting issue, and so poster goes out. It says 1:00. Players see it. Gaffer puts the message in and says what he says. Saturday, be there, meet time, blah blah blah. We get closer. We all come in. Again, the player will remain nameless. Asking where this player is, and player shows up. I think he showed up about 10 minutes before the game was meant to kick off because he thought it was a 3:00 kickoff. Again, player will remain nameless. But I think that's one of the funniest things I've seen this season. Definitely our level. I wasn't there for Jersey, so I honestly can just imagine how funny that is. Though Jersey on a Tuesday night is probably not the best. There is one pub out there. I think the Faversham fans have made me aware of it. That is like always open and welcome to away fans. I think they're starting to get that idea that as long as they're open and hospitable. I'm honestly trying to think, but I don't think there's been really like many of anything going on in my eyes. But those stories are legend, and if anyone else has any of those stories, definitely want to hear them. They are always magic to have.
Hi, Brickies. Colin here. just my take from the weekend just gone. Away to Hassocks. Really lovely day, to be fair. Weather was nice. Loads of fans there again, Bricky fans there in numbers. I believe there was a coach went up there. And it's just a really nice ground, really nice atmosphere. I normally stand in the same spot for the whole game. First half surrounded by Hassocks fans. Really good bunch, to be fair. Really shame to see them go down. So I'm hoping they can survive the weekend, to be fair. Hopefully they'll win against Ashford, which we know could be pretty tricky because we've obviously recently played Sheppey. Well, yeah, hopefully they'll lose and they can stay up, really. So on to the game. It was good to see Gav and Luke back in the starting 11, driving up to the game. My little girl read the team out to me and I thought we was going three out front with obviously Harvey, Mitch and Dell. But when the game started, Harvey was obviously playing on the left. Thought he played a really good game, held the ball up, turned, tried to get shots in. So I think it was a really positive position, to be fair, for him. Had really two well-taken goals in that first half. Low shots. Keeper had no chance, to be fair. Two goals from, obviously one from Mitch and one from Dale, who's now scored 20. And obviously I think it's probably been said in this podcast already that he had said if he gets to 20, he'll carry on for one more season, whether that's with us or not. Hopefully it is. But well done to Dale. I think we was quite fortunate in the first half. They had a really good claim for a penalty. I was literally a few metres away from the actual incident. Definitely sounded like a penalty to me. Brownie, I've got a question for you. Been in these games all season. Why is the linesman, the assistant now, I think they called him, so reluctant to help the referee a decision? They don't seem to help him at all when it's so clear. Obviously, I'm glad it didn't go against us. We've had enough penalties dismissed this season. They do say it eased itself up over the season, so hopefully got a few more decisions coming our way. But yeah, I never understand it. They can quite clearly hear it, see it, but they never help the referee out lately. Yeah, something I've noticed at non-league level anyway. Second half didn't really take off, to be fair. It was a good, solid performance still, clean sheet. And to be fair, came away from the ground feeling really positive. Really good to see Joe Bochi back too. I thought he was gone for the rest of the season. So again, when my daughter read out the team sheet on the way and said that he was on the bench, I thought he was just filling the space, to be fair. But it was good when I turned up to see him warming up and actually coming on. I thought it gave everybody a lift, the team, the fans, everybody. I felt the squad that we had on the day was really strong. A really good bench with the players that are coming on. Jaden, Richie, Henry. Just really good players coming on, which is good. On to this weekend against VCD. Bit of a... Obviously, everything's in our hands, to be fair, so we need to go out and win. So it doesn't really matter what Faversham do. I think it'll be quite a sad game for them. Obviously, it's their last ever game. Sure, their fans will be quite emotional, but I'm looking for a very professional performance from our team. Just go out, get as many goals as we can. Just use that momentum going off into the playoffs. As I said, we've had a good performance against Hassocks, so let's carry that on into VCD, get as many goals, and then on to the semi-finals, hopefully, against probably either Whiteleaf or Croydon. That's enough for me. See you all at the game. Have a good rest of the week.
Well, Bricky's fans, back to winning ways on Saturday. Really impressed by the performance and the manner of which we started the game. You could see from the first whistle, higher level of energy and intensity. For Luke, deservedly got man of the match. Everything he did was positive, moved the ball, created Mitch's goal by just his sheer will and want to get to that ball first. It was really good. It was a nice day Saturday, nice club, and the pitch wasn't great for playing football on, but I thought we looked really positive. And to be honest, they had some half chances. Rex made a great save at the end. worth a goal in itself. That tip at the end, and I just thought we looked really good value. Dale and Mitch up top caused lots of problems. Surprised their number 5 lasted as long as he did, to be honest with you. Didn't have a lot of footballing skills in him. Was more interested in taking the shirt off Mitch's back most of the game. But I just thought we were really positive. I thought we got it down. We tried to play in the right areas and moved it. There's still areas of growth and areas of, we could be better at. I thought 2-0 probably fair, but I think we had some more gears to go. It was really great seeing Bochi back from injury. It gave everyone a massive lift when you think he's been out, for such a long time. I think it's 13, 14 games, something like that. So he's been out for now nearly, a quarter of the season. It's remarkable. So great seeing him back. He's only going to get fitter and stronger, and just gives us another option. Thought we were really good getting it forwards, creating chances, and then when the chances came, natural finishers up top to put it away. Great for Dell getting the goals. It's remarkable what he's bringing to the team. And I, for one, would be very happy to see him back in a Sittingbourne shirt next season. Now he's got his 20 goals. So, yeah, really good. I thought we just looked more solid. And even in the warm-up, it all just looked more relaxed. Players were able to express themselves and made better decisions. So really, really happy from Saturday. Takes us into the last home game against VCD. And we just need to carry on the same, start from the front foot, really get in their faces, nice high press, and the opportunities will come. And hopefully, we get a few more goals. It'd be great going into the playoffs on the back of a really positive performance and result. And the momentum, it's quite nice being a little bit under the radar, I'd say, in the playoffs. Whereas the last 2 years, probably we had the targets on our backs. I think keep this pressure off us and just keep enjoying our football. Up the brickies.
Hello guys, Jacob here. So, Hassocks on Saturday. Very good win, a clean sheet. I don't think we got any bookings. I don't think we picked up any injuries. So, very good performance there. It's difficult to sort of know what to expect from teams like Hassocks down at the bottom of the league with just a handful of games left. They were obviously up for it. They were a very decent team, to be honest, for a team sitting in the relegation zone. They just didn't have much in attack. Competitive in midfield. They threw bodies around, but the most important thing for us is the win. Hassocks have got one game to stay up. I believe there's 2 points between them and Sheppey. As much as I'd like Hassocks to stay up, you can't forget that Sheppey, when they come to Sittingbourne, it's a good money maker. We get our biggest gate of the season, so it's a tough one. I'm not too sure who I want to survive out of them two, but hopefully we won't need to worry about that next season because we'll be promoted, fingers crossed. Third consecutive season of playoffs would be a brilliant achievement for any club, really, especially a club like Sittingbourne that have been in this division or the equivalent of this division for God knows how long now, long before I started turning up. But no, it's a really lovely ground actually at Hassocks. Credit to them, they're all really nice. Their programme, 60 pages, I believe, for £2. Brilliant programme. So shout out to them. But also commiserations to our opponents on Saturday, VCD Athletic. Really sad to see them go. I really hope that they can somehow sort something out and stay as a football club, even if they have to drop down the league or something. Honestly, they're a really nice club. The 2 times I visited them this season, they're really, really nice people. The first time I was standing kit man, they were really nice, really welcoming, trying to do anything they can to make you feel welcome and make your job a little bit more easier. And then the second time, me and John were doing IFAS, the FA updating everything on the everything that happens in the game on the app, and one of their directors said, "Don't go outside in the pouring rain and do that. Just stay in the boardroom with us, have a cup of tea and watch through the boardroom, which is quite high and overlooks the pitch." So yeah, saved us getting wet and saved us pulling our hair out during the IFAS. Really nice people. So yeah, I really do hope that they can somehow work something out and stay up. Sorry, stay together as a football club. There'd be a lot of youth teams there as well, I imagine, that will suffer. It'll affect the community. It's a shame, really. Back to Sittingbourne. Hopefully, we get the result we need on Saturday. Playoff football again. Quick turnarounds Tuesday night. Playoff semi-final. Then potentially the final on Friday if we win that. So it comes thick and fast. No time, no time to really think about it too much, which is, I'm sure the players prefer it that way. And I know I certainly do as a fan. I don't like waiting too long between these big games. I'll just want to get them going and see what happens. I get quite nervous with these playoff games, unfortunately. And hopefully no bloody penalties. I can't bear them.
We're meant to be going up here. It's in our hands as we go into next Saturday for a 2-0 win here. It doesn't send Hassocks down either. They've still got everything to play for next week, but it was all about us today.
Yeah. I think we've had a good week training and stuff like that. Ironed out some question marks between ourselves, I suppose. But I knew this team would turn it round, sort of thing. First 5 minutes, you could tell we was on it. We could tell from man to man. Everyone was excellent out there today, and really pulled us through. The fans at the start, I think you hear that little bit of noise at the start where everyone's like behind you and stuff like that. It gives you a bit of a lift as well. So it started from there, to be fair.
Like you said, we all came out just. We didn't have it all our own way as well. Hassocks gave as good as they got. They were coming forward. It wasn't like they were there to lay down. How much do you feel the boys prove themselves away? Because this was a test, no matter what you think about it.
To be honest, I think they're in a bit of a false position, to be honest. Like for what they do and stuff like that, I'd imagine they cause a lot of problems. And yeah, I think it's a bit of a shame where they are. But they give us a good game, which we knew was going to happen, especially off the back of the Croydon game. I think it's an excellent result for them, keeps them in it. But I just thought we was very confident today, and we knew that we was, once we start getting the rhythm into how we was going to play, we knew he was going to score, and then most importantly, it was about the clean sheet.
Fair few changes there as well. Hoyt coming back, Luke Woodward coming in, Harvey Smith out on the left, and then Derek Asamoah going up on top as well. And it was just to go out there and have firepower today.
I think so, mate. Yeah, I think so, because I think we've probably lacked a little bit, and that's no disrespect to the boys that have been playing, lacked a little bit of urgency up there in certain games. And I felt that the energy, I thought Harvey was excellent on the left, to be honest. He just tired. That's the only reason he could sort of come off towards the end. I mean, I had to take all three of them off because they were shattered. But you knew what you was going to get from them three. Caused them problems going in behind and stuff like that. Derek's 44 and he wants to run in behind. I mean, that's music to every manager's ears, is you got a striker that wants to run in behind. I mean, we've got two. Mitch does it as well. And they both got their rewards today.
Faversham drawing 2-2, which means we are 3 points clear, and it's all in our hands next week. We go to VCD, who are sadly going to be ceasing to exist after the news the other day. But it's a brilliant setup for next week, and you still don't know who you're going to be able to play in the playoffs, because you've got both the Croydon sides, Whiteleaf and Croydon, who are all to play for. Even Jersey could make it. They're top of it, and so it's all to play for. It's an exciting end to the end of the season.
Yeah, I think so, mate. I think that's what you pay your money for, don't you? You want to see a bit of entertainment towards the end. But we just got to go there, make sure we're at home, obviously. So we got to make sure that we're doing everything that we can just to build that momentum from today.
And lastly, it takes a bit of pressure off after last week, doesn't it? Off yourself and the players, and go into a relaxed mood next week and just try and go into the playoffs with a bit of rhythm. It isn't all finished, but try and make the playoffs with rhythm.
Yeah, I mean, like, we don't sort of sit on our laurels, sort of thing. We still want to provide and get a good performance in for the group next week, especially being at home. You come off the back of 2 good wins. That's the momentum that you need in the playoffs.
I'll let you go join the fans who are singing, and thank you very much, Gaffer.
Cheers, mate.